Hello everyone, welcome back to LMX. Today we're diving deep into a developing story out of South Africa. Recent reports indicate that the finance minister postponed his budget speech, a move tied to a proposed increase in the VAT from its current rate to 17%. Within the Government of National Unity, which is made up of various political parties, there is significant opposition to this plan. For instance, the Democratic Alliance has been vocal in its criticism of the proposed tax increase. In today's video, we'll fact-check these claims, review the socio-economic context in South Africa, and explain why such a VAT hike could be catastrophic for the poor and marginalized. We'll also explore alternative fiscal measures that advanced economies use. Let's get into it. Let's break down the reported news. First, several media outlets have reported that South Africa's finance minister postponed the budget speech to allow for further consultations on a proposed increase in VAT to 17%. The intention behind this measure is to boost government revenue. Multiple fact checks and government briefings have confirmed that discussions around raising the VAT are indeed taking place, and that further consultations were deemed necessary before moving forward with such a significant fiscal decision. Next, the term GNU here refers to the Government of National Unity, a coalition that brings together various political parties. Notably, within this coalition, some parties, including the Democratic Alliance, have rejected the proposed VAT increase. The Democratic Alliance's criticism focuses on the regressive nature of VAT, arguing that it places an undue burden on low-income households who spend a larger share of their income on essential goods and services. While the exact terminology may vary in different reports, the key point remains: there is significant dissent within the current coalition over this policy proposal. Now let's put these policy proposals into perspective by examining the broader socio-economic landscape in South Africa. First, South Africa's unemployment rate has remained alarmingly high, with figures often cited between 32% and 35%. This high level of unemployment means that a large portion of the population has very little disposable income, making any increase in consumption taxes especially challenging. Second, although classified as an upper-middle-income country, South Africa faces widespread poverty. A significant segment of the population lives below the national poverty line, and estimates suggest that between 5% and 7% of South Africans live on less than $1.90 a day. This metric, while not capturing every nuance of economic vulnerability, highlights the precarious situation many households face. Finally, South Africa is known for its extreme levels of inequality, with a Gini coefficient around 0.63, one of the highest in the world. This means that even small increases in a flat-rate tax like VAT can disproportionately affect the poorest households, as they spend nearly all of their income on everyday essentials. Understanding the nature of VAT is key to assessing its impact. VAT is a consumption tax that applies uniformly to most goods and services. And here's why an increase to 17% could have disastrous consequences for the poor and marginalized. Firstly, unlike progressive income taxes, VAT does not scale with income. Low-income households, which spend a larger share of their earnings on essentials like food, medicine, and transport, would see a disproportionate rise in prices. This regressive effect makes the tax particularly harmful to those who are already struggling. Secondly, with an unemployment rate hovering around 32 to 35%, many South Africans have little financial cushion. An increase in VAT would reduce their real purchasing power, leading to lower consumption of essential goods. This not only deepens individual hardship but can also slow economic growth and further strain the job market. Lastly, when the poorest segments of society face even higher costs for everyday necessities, the risk of social unrest increases. In a country with deep-seated inequality, policies that hit the lower-income groups hardest can exacerbate societal divisions and fuel discontent. These factors underscore why significant factions within the Government of National Unity, such as the Democratic Alliance, oppose the proposed VAT hike. Countries with advanced economies face fiscal challenges too, but they often have a wider array of policy tools to raise revenue without unduly burdening the most vulnerable. Here are some alternatives. Firstly, rather than relying heavily on broad-based consumption taxes, many advanced economies use progressive income taxes where higher earners pay a larger share of their income. This approach can raise significant revenue without increasing the financial strain on low-income households. Secondly, some nations have introduced or expanded wealth taxes, which target the assets of the richest individuals. Similarly, reforming corporate taxes to close loopholes and ensure fair contributions from large businesses can help generate revenue in a more equitable way. Thirdly, investing in social programs, such as education, healthcare, and job training, can stimulate economic growth while providing direct support to those in need. This targeted approach not only helps reduce poverty, but also builds a more resilient economy in the long term. Lastly, another option is to exempt essential goods from VAT or apply a lower rate to items that constitute a major portion of spending for low-income households. Several European countries use such measures to mitigate the regressive impact of consumption taxes. In the context of South Africa, adopting a mix of these alternatives could help stabilize public finances while protecting the welfare of millions who are already living under significant economic strain. As we've seen today, while the proposed VAT increase to 17% is intended to address fiscal shortfalls, the policy carries severe risks. With unemployment rates in the low 30s, widespread poverty, and extreme inequality, the regressive nature of VAT threatens to further burden the poor and marginalized. Within the Government of National Unity, there is significant opposition, most notably from the Democratic Alliance, reflecting concerns that such a policy will deepen hardship and fuel social unrest. Looking to advanced economies, it's clear that there are alternative strategies, like progressive income taxes, wealth taxes, corporate reforms, and selective exemptions, that can generate revenue without disproportionately impacting those with the least resources. It's crucial for policymakers to weigh these alternatives carefully, ensuring that any fiscal measures are both economically sound and socially just. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to LMX for more in-depth analysis. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.